Hello everyone and welcome to ABN News Headlines tonight. We will highlight several stories from around the world. Like the video, leave your comments and do not forget to share. I am Jane Ngwena for Advent Broadcast Network. Some teens build bus stop shelter for a 5-year-old wheelchair user, protecting him from the harsh weather. Teenagers have built a shelter for a 5-year-old boy who uses a wheelchair after noticing he got wet while waiting for the bus in winter. 5-year-old Ryder Killam has had to battle rain, wind and snow for about 15 minutes every day, using only a patio umbrella as protection. But after hearing about his problem, local students in Bradford, Rhode Island got to work and build him his own bus shelter for the bottom of his driveway during their construction lessons. Ryder was born with spina bifida and has never been able to walk. He started attending inclusionary preschool Duns Corner Elementary in June 2019 and every day had to be pushed 75 feet to the end of the road to wait for his school bus by his parents' team and Nikea. As Ryder was unable to rush for this bus if he was running late like his peers, this would often mean he'd have to wait for about 15 minutes out in whatever weather there was. In September this year, just when Ryder started kindergarten, team decided to put up a patio umbrella at the end of his driveway to provide some shelter from the elements. They decided to reach out to their community to see if anyone had anything that would work to protect Ryder from the elements. Dan McKenna, who has been teaching construction technology at Wesley High School, together with 3 of his classes, worked hard on the project for numerous weeks, learning new skills through YouTube as they created the structure, which is a hut, motivated by the course and knowing that soon snow would be falling. The hut was built 5 times 8 feet high, and that could fit one of his parents comfortably, or the nurse, as they deliver him to school. The family sent a photo of Ryder in the bus shelter and thanked the teens for their hard work. In North Carolina, a police officer is accused of shooting his 15-year-old son in the head. A North Carolina police officer shot his 15-year-old son in the head on Monday afternoon in an incident that appears to be an accident. Officials said the father, who has not been identified, is an officer with the Jacksonville Police Department near the North Carolina coast. The unidentified teen suffered a life-threatening injury and was taken to Biden Medical Center in Pitt County, according to the district attorney Annie Lee. He remained in critical condition on Wednesday, according to the Onslow County Sheriff's Office. It was not clear if the weapon was the officer's department-issued handgun. This is a tragic event and this matter remains under investigation by the Onslow County Sheriff's Office. A statement posted on Facebook said the reports, statements and other evidence from the investigation will be provided to the office to determine what actions, if any, will be taken. The officer is on administrative leave, according to the Jacksonville Police Department. An Amtrak train collides with a truck, killing an 83-year-old man. An Amtrak train traveling from Boston to Maine reportedly collided with a pickup truck driven by an 83-year-old man on Monday, killing him. Authorities said that the man's pickup truck went through the gate and made its way onto the train tracks in Haverhill, Mass., according to the NBC News. Photos of the incident showed the truck had flipped and Essex District Attorney Jonathan Blodgett's office told NBC that the man was alone in the vehicle at the time. An Amtrak spokesman confirmed in a statement that the truck was obstructing the tracks. No injuries were reported from the train, which was carrying crew members and about 80 passengers. An investigation into the incident is reportedly ongoing. In Sudan, gunmen loot the UN food aid warehouse in Darfur. Sudanese gunmen have looted a World Food Programme warehouse containing about 1,900 tons of food aid in Darfur amid a surge of violence in the western region. The residents of El Fasher, the capital of North Darfur state, reported heavy shooting near the warehouse late on Tuesday, and the local authorities have imposed a nighttime curfew on the town after the attack. A WFP official said they were conducting an audit into what was stolen from the warehouse, which contains some 1,900 tons of food products intended to be a life-saving supplies for some of the most vulnerable people. Darfur has seen a spike in conflict since October, triggered by disputes over land, livestock, and access to water and grazing, with around 250 people killed in fighting between herders and farmers. Tens of thousands have been forced to flee their homes, according to the International Organization of Migration. This violence has occurred while Sudanese reels from political turbulence in the wake of a coup led by military chief General Fattah al-Burhan on October 25th. Last week, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned looting and reported violence near a former UN logistics base in El Fasher that has been handed over to the local authorities days earlier. A joint UN and African Union mission ended 13 years of peacekeeping operation in December last year, but Guterres said that substantial amounts of equipment and supplies from the looted base were intended to be used by Sudanese communities. More than 14 million Sudanese will need humanitarian aid next year, according to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, the highest level for a decade. A magnitude 5.7 earthquake strikes Crete, and it's felt in Egyptian cities. An earthquake of magnitude 5.7 struck Crete, Greece, on Wednesday, the country's Geodynamic Institute said. There were no immediate reports of injuries or damage. The European Mediterranean Seismological Center, EMSC, earlier registered the tremor at 6.1. Egyptian authorities reported the quake was felt in some of the country's cities. Akis, director of the Geodynamic Institute, who was in Crete, said authorities gave a revised reading of 5.7 from 5.6 earlier. Thankfully, it was in the sea. The area is already burdened with earlier tremors, and if it were inland, there could have been damage. The quake was at a depth of 80 kilometers, that is 49.7 miles. And this is as reported by the Greece Geodynamic Institute. Italy gives safe port for 558 migrants rescued at sea. Italy on Tuesday allowed a charity boat carrying hundreds of migrants rescued at sea to dock in a Cilician port of Aosta, with another vessel waiting offshore for permission to bring 440 more on land. The Geo Barrett ship, run by charity Doctors Without Borders, took on board 558 people, mainly Africans, in 8 separate operations off the coast of Libya in the last 11 days. They include 174 minors and a woman who is 8 months pregnant. The German charity boat Sea Watch 3 is also seeking a port to disembark 440 migrants rescued in recent days in the Mediterranean, including women and young children. Italy has seen a sharp increase in the boat migrants in recent months, with the government struggling to secure an agreement with European Union partners over how to deal with the influx. As of December 28, 66,482 migrants had reached Italy so far this year, against 34,000 in the same period in 2020, the Interior Ministry data showed. The world's oldest person ever has died at the age of 135. A woman believed to have lived 135 years, the oldest recorded in history, died on Thursday. The supercentenarian from Western China, according to Daily Mail, claimed to be born on June 25, 1886 during the Imperial Qing dynasty and was officially declared the nation's oldest living person in 2013 by the China Association of Gerontology and Geriatrics. Seyiti died peacefully on December 16th, as reported by authorities, while surrounded by family. Married in 1903, she was said to have adopted a boy and a girl with her husband, who passed away in 1976, while she went on to see 6 generations of descendants come to pass. She is survived by many, including 43 grand and great-grandchildren. Seyiti's grandson and primary caretaker, Noir, said she was getting along well before she passed, rising each day at 10 a.m. to a day filled with music before bed at around 11 p.m. Seyiti, an ethically Urge woman from Shule County in Kashgar Prefecture, had a government-issued identification card to reflect her late 19th century birth date, but some have been skeptical of her longevity due to the poor record-keeping practices that time. And this village has been called a longevity town by some experts, as the community boasts dozens of seniors aged 90 years and up. This is at least in part owing to the recent improvement of health services. And that marks the end of our headlines tonight. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the end. Don't forget to like the video and share it. I have been your host for tonight, Jane